My name is Julian Crane. Last Thursday, my wife, Marissa Crane, CEO of Orion Systems, fired me. I remember how the fluorescent lights in the boardroom reflected off the glass conference table, splitting the room into harsh rectangles of glare and shadow. I had arrived early, as always, carrying my laptop bag slung over one shoulder and juggling a coffee in my hand. The floor-to-ceiling windows offered a panorama of downtown Manhattan's hustle, jutting steel and glass facades stretching endlessly toward the horizon. I thought about greeting her with a kiss, about walking side by side to the corner cafe afterward. But as soon as I stepped into the conference room, I sensed that whatever ritual remained between us had been replaced by something colder and more transactional. I had been Director of Global Language Services for 5 years, a title that sounded grander than the reality of my day-to-day tasks. Coordinating between localization vendors, meeting with regional marketing heads, rewriting Japanese press releases so that clients in Shanghai didn't mistake seasonal sale for regional bail. I was the human hinge connecting Orion Systems to the rest of the world. Essentially the only thing preventing our international partnerships from collapsing into awkward misunderstandings and lost millions. I had flown to Tokyo, Sao Paulo, Nairobi, and Delhi multiple times, spending hours in windowless meeting rooms, sipping too-strong hotel coffee, and listening to senior executives recite buzzwords about market penetration and digital synergy. But when I arrived in that boardroom on Thursday morning, none of that experience mattered, not to Marissa. She sat at the head of the table, the woman who had once been the reason I learned to love foreign poetry. She had retreated into algorithms and growth metrics, leaving the art of language translation in the dust. Her chair was tilted back slightly, long legs crossed at the ankle, and she had a half smile that suggested amusement rather than affection. She tapped her manicured nail against the polished wood, as if drumming out a rhythm only she could hear. The tension settled in my chest like lead as I took my seat across from her. Around us, the empty chairs bore silent testimony to the fact that no one else was present. It was just us, husband and wife, CEO and director, a power couple in a crumbling marriage. "I assume you read the memo I sent this morning?" Marissa began, her voice cool and clipped. I had skimmed it on my way in. Effective immediately, Global Language Services Division to be dissolved. All responsibilities reassigned to Digital Integration Team. Thank you for your contributions. It felt like a guillotine delivered by email. I closed the memo, set it on the table in front of her, and cleared my throat. I did. "I have some questions." My pulse ticked up. I felt the familiar rush of adrenaline that always accompanied conflict, but this time it was laced with something darker. Betrayal. She leaned forward, elbows on the table, hands clasped. "Julian, we're not here to debate the decision. I'm simply letting you know that as of today, your role no longer exists. We've found a more scalable AI-driven solution for translation. Even Google Translate can do this." Her precise words echoed in my mind longer than I expected. She had dropped the phrase, "Even Google Translate can do this," as if it were a casual aside, no different from commenting on the weather, but it felt like a knife to something fundamental. My purpose, my identity, the countless hours I'd spent perfecting each translation nuance so that contracts didn't offend cultural sensibilities and marketing materials didn't blunder into embarrassing mistranslations. I thought of the mornings I woke before dawn to send final drafts to our teams in Berlin and Buenos Aires. I recalled the late nights rewriting product launch videos in Arabic so that Arabic-speaking customers in Cairo felt included and respected. I remembered sitting in a cramped Tokyo cafe while an Ishikawa Holdings executive told me, in Japanese, that Julian Crane understands us better than any machine. Those were moments when I felt indispensable. Now my wife dismissed all of that with a single sentence because I refused to be the one to break the silence first. The boardroom remained still. The hum of the air conditioning was the only sound. I leaned back in my chair, placing the rim of my coffee mug against my lips to hide the tremor in my jaw. My hands folded neatly on the table itched to clutch something. An office phone, pen, the edge of the tabletop. Anything to anchor me. I stared at her, searching her face for a flicker of remorse or hesitation. Instead, I saw nothing but certainty, a conviction that I had become expendable. I wondered when she had started plotting this, whether it had been weeks or months ago. How many late-night strategy sessions had passed without me? In that moment, our marriage felt like a ledger, and I was the line item being cut. She waved a hand at the memo. "I'm sorry it had to come to this, Julian, but there's no room for emotions in business decisions. You understand that?" Her voice was softer, but her eyes remained ice-cold. I thought back to when she would gently correct my pronunciation of French phrases, when she whispered my name during poetic recital of Baudelaire, that Julian Crane, the husband who translated love letters to English for her when she studied abroad, felt impossibly distant now. How had we fallen so far that she could callously dismantle the division I had built from scratch? I placed my coffee mug on the table and exhaled, allowing a calmness I didn't entirely feel to settle over me. If you believe Google Translate can achieve what I've spent years perfecting, then be my guest, I said quietly, refusing to let my voice crack. I thought I sounded composed, but inside I felt my entire world constricting. She shifted in her seat, her lips twitching, a flicker of impatience. "Julian, this isn't a negotiation. It's a statement of fact. The department is done. Your job is done. You're free to collect any severance you're entitled to and exit the company at your earliest convenience." Her words felt like a judge's gavel. I imagined the moment replaying on some mental stage. Julian Crane, let go for obsolescence. She seemed to relish it, as if firing her own husband had been a feat of corporate prowess, instead of a moment that should have shattered both our personal and professional lives. I straightened my shoulders and stood, picking up my laptop bag with deliberate slowness, as though to prove I was unaffected. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "I wish you luck at your next meeting." I let the words hang between us, savoring the way her faint expression of confusion revealed that she thought I meant something polite. But I didn't. Inside, I was already plotting my next move. As I turned away, my shoes clicked on the marble floor, each step